I'm one of those people that I've watched all of the Stargate, like the movies, the TV shows, like Stargate SG-1, Atlanta, even the other one. I can't even remember what the other universe, when it tried to do the thing that every sci-fi thing tried to do and be like a teen drama. People said it was goofy, and I'm like, yeah. It's kind of my opinion that I had with Caprica versus fucking what was it called? Battlestar Galactica. But it's I find it odd the reason they canceled it, because based on what the article says, it's like they said they've canceled it because they just didn't think they could sell it to the newer generation. So like effectively the wider audience. And so there's probably two lines of thinking from this, right? Because it's Amazon we're talking about. Either they wanted to make it for the wider audience, but they knew it wouldn't sell. Like they wanted to put, all the weird, goofy shit that Hollywood does. A movie cannot get an Oscar unless it has at least 30% diversity. It's like, yeah, those types of stipulations, and it's like, why? Isn't the point of the movie to be good? It really doesn't matter. And again, I'm saying it doesn't matter because it was never an issue until, people came with assumptions. They assumed it happened, and then they try to put themselves in positions of power and positions to make money, just so they can claim it. Oh, okay, it's fine now. Why? Oh, because you put me and my friends in charge. It was a grift. So there's that, right? They wanted to make it for the wider audience, but they knew it wouldn't sell, so they decided to can it. Or they wanted to actually make it faithful to Stargate, which Stargate really is easy to make. Well, if you know filmmaking, if you have the tools, like the tools that old Stargate had, it would be easy because just do what they did. Again, what is Stargate? Well, it's effectively D&D, only in space. Well, the modern world, but space-ish. It's like, okay, you have four characters with four completely distinct, skills and attributes. You had Daniel Jackson, who could interpret, the science guy, the architect guy. You had Carter, who she's more of the sciencey type. You had Teal'c, which was the Jaffa, one of the guys under the Goa'uld who defected. So he's kind of like the muscle. He knows the Goa'uld. He's working with other Jaffa. And then you have the commander. I can't remember his name, but I can absolutely remember his face, like, because he has that face that you can remember. He's like the, run and gun, but he's not dumb. He can think through his problems. And again, you apply these characters to a sci-fi setting and put them in sci-fi situations to work through it. And this makes just a good and interesting story. It makes, okay, how would they deal with this situation? Putting on with everything they know. And again, the movie, they didn't expect Stargate to actually be popular. So they had one main character-ish, one commander. But I guess he's like, yeah, I wasn't expecting to continue this, so they went with someone else, which is fine. But all through that, and again, even Atlantis was the same situation. Only you're fighting a completely different enemy, the Wraith. And I heard a lot of people kind of got tired of the Goa'uld. And again, the idea was, the fact that the Goa'uld, they could not create, like they only conquered, they only exploited. And at first, humanity's like, okay, how do you even possibly beat this enemy? But eventually they do. Spoilers, they do eventually overcome the Goa'uld, and they did it by cooperating with other races, other people, other humans that have been spread throughout the galaxy. They have, powers and situations of their own. Some of them be very interesting, and again, it's like I said, D&D in space. You go to an interesting place with interesting problems and try to figure out, okay, how would they deal with this issue with the knowledge they understand. And this is how you make Stargate. And again, they wanted to do that. They probably could, but I guess they decided not to. So again, two lines of thought here. And there's maybe a secret third one where they kind of wanted to do a mix of both. Because to my knowledge, a lot of these projects have like 50 fucking executive producers. It's made by committee. It's made by a team. This is why you have The Boys. That the first two seasons were amazing, but then as it went on, it got shittier and shittier, and I don't even care to watch the final season because I know it's trash. So, as reported by Variety, Amazon has axed the new Stargate TV series. The show has been developed by Martin Giro, who co-produced on both the Stargate Atlantis and Stargate Universe spin-off shows, along with input from SG1 showrunners Joseph Malozzi and producer Brad Wright. Again, one of these, I don't know if it was either Joseph or Brad, but they both produced it and whoever Daniel Jackson played was probably one of these guys. And again, there was the first writer strike because people found our actor strike because they realized how popular this shit actually was, but they weren't actually getting paid for how popular it was getting. So, and you lost a lot of good shows because of the first strike, and that's when they switched to making everything a fucking teen drama. So that is true. Amazon is likely not to move forward with the new Stargate series. There's not much I can add beyond confirming what happens, but I will say this. Marcio developed the new Stargate series over 2 years, ultimately crafted the show that, whatever. But I feel like, can't you just release it yourself? Like, okay, you don't have a major publisher like Amazon. And again, I don't know what agreements they sign, because apparently a lot of these agreements effectively give the publisher all the rights to your your show that you publish. I mean, you make the money, but they own it. And again, I'm looking at this, and I'm like, man. Again, I don't know. Yeah, I can't remember his name, but you can remember his face if you play so fucking many or watch so many of the Stargate series. But yeah, I guess if they're not going through with it, and it's like, okay, I don't know if they've saved us, because again, the Stargate series is over, right? It's done. So what could you possibly do to bring it back is the question. But again, is Amazon even capable? Because I understand Amazon, Hollywood, like all these Western companies, they don't actually, like they say they have no idea what the consumer likes, but then they do the exact opposite of what you want, and they want to call you chuds. It's like they want to hold your entertainment hostage. It's like, oh, because the chuds say one thing, therefore you're not allowed to have good entertainment. It's like, what, are you trying to manipulate people? Are you trying to hold their entertainment hostage because this demographic that only exists in your head? It's like I refuse to play this game. I will just watch anime. Like I don't like being manipulated, so I'm gonna just watch. I'm gonna be manipulated the right way, by the Chad Japanese man that knows how to actually make good entertainment. And it's not that I don't like being manipulated. I don't like being manipulated and then treated like I have low intelligence, like I'm stupid. You're manipulating me wrong. You gotta manipulate me right. And the Japanese man knows how to manipulate me the right way, and it works. It's like there's like, oh, well, let's give you, hot female, hot fucking anime waifus, just to get you in the door, but then hit you with banger fucking story, and it's like, oh wow, you've subverted my expectations, and I'm enjoying it. I appreciate you doing this. Thank you, Japanese man. Or I guess Nikkei is a Chinese company. I guess they're doing the same thing. It's odd because in China, you're not really supposed to sell that shit in China, but outside of China, you can sell whatever the fuck you want. It's a very weird system. But if I can say anything about this, it's like Amazon. Just do what the Japanese man does. Like I get it, you probably have your network of people that pay you, so you don't actually need to make a good product. But can you not just surprise us once? Like for every five shitters, can you not get a banger out, please? I'm not being unreasonable. I get it. You gotta own the chuds. But you can make one good thing along with like the 10 shitty chud oni things. I mean, am I being unreasonable here? No, I don't think I am. But anyway, that's all I gotta say about this. Peace!